Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're not just going through some dusty timeline. We are stepping right into the shadows of a case that is, frankly, an absolute icon in the true crime world. We're talking about the Black Dahlia. It's 1947 in Los Angeles, this city of just dazzling dreams but also the darkest of nightmares. And this is a case that has literally fascinated and terrified the public for over 80 years now. So grab a seat and let's unravel the architecture of this incredibly chilling mystery. Section 1, الاكتشاف المروع, or the macabre discovery. Okay, picture this. It's a quiet morning. The wind's just lightly blowing through this vacant lot, and a local resident out for a walk spots something completely out of place. They genuinely thought it was a broken mannequin in the grass. I mean, the visual was so surreal, so completely stripped of what a normal crime scene looks like, that the human brain actually tried to rationalize it, right? Why a broken store display? Well, it was because of the absolute stark pallor of the figure. The victim's body had been completely washed of blood. It was perfectly clean, posed. It just looked entirely artificial. And then the illusion shatters. Imagine a camera slowly zooming in from that wide shot of this quote-unquote mannequin in the grass. As you get closer and closer, you realize, no way, this isn't plastic. This is a human being. And that terrifying realization, it hit them when they saw the face. It was mutilated with the Glasgow Smile, this gruesome, deliberate cut from ear to ear. That single detail completely transformed what at first looked like discarded junk into a scene of absolute, deliberate, and horrific violence.
Moving on to Section 2, Hulm Hollywood, the Hollywood Dream.
So behind all those massive, shocking headlines was a real, living person, Elizabeth Short. You have to remember, 1947 LA was defined by its dazzling lights. Thousands of young people were flocking to the West Coast, all with these huge dreams of stardom. And Elizabeth? She was really just another girl hoping to make it big. But tragically, her fame didn't come from some glamorous silver screen premiere. It came from a much more brutal reality. She was found bisected, literally cut entirely in half, with absolute surgical precision, and meticulously washed of blood. It's this incredibly jarring contrast. A life that was so meant for the spotlight ended with such clinical, macabre efficiency. Which brings us to Section 3, رسائل القاتل الغامضة, the killer's mysterious letters. Now, usually a perpetrator commits a horrible crime and then just vanishes into the shadows, hoping to never be caught, right? Not here. Within days, as the press starts calling her the Black Dahlia, the killer elevates this from a tragic murder into a completely twisted game. This culprit employed an incredibly mysterious and innovative style, actively toying with the media and the police. They actually mailed Elizabeth's personal belongings to the authorities. But here is the truly terrifying detail. The entire package was soaked in gasoline, and it wasn't just for dramatic effect. It was a calculated move to systematically destroy any fingerprints. You could almost smell those overpowering fumes right along with the detectives who opened it, suddenly realizing they weren't dealing with your average criminal, but a complete phantom who was actively manipulating the entire investigation. And that leads right into Section 4, لغز بلا حل, an unsolved mystery. So you might be wondering, how does a case with this much media frenzy and physical evidence mailed directly to the police stay unsolved? Well, just look at the sheer scale of the chaos here. 150 suspects. The police didn't just have one or two solid leads. They cast this incredibly massive, desperate net. We're talking about investigating everyone from local medical doctors, which, makes a ton of sense given that surgical precision we talked about earlier, all the way up to ruthless gangsters operating in the city. The investigation was vast, complex, and totally overwhelming. And yet, despite 150 people being thoroughly scrutinized, not a single person was ever convicted. The killer just slipped right through the cracks. The truth died with Elizabeth in that vacant lot. It's a haunting thought, isn't it? For over 80 years now, the Black Dahlia case has been the coldest file in Hollywood history. Now, that definitely doesn't mean people have just given up. There are always new, modern theories popping up. Some investigators and amateur sleuths swear they finally cracked the code. There's even a really famous theory where a guy publicly accused his own father of being the killer, pointing to all this supposed hidden evidence. But officially, in the eyes of the law, the phantom won. The truth is still buried back in 1947. So I want to leave you with one final chilling question to think about. When you look at the evidence, the clean bisection, the fact that the blood was totally drained, the gasoline used to outsmart forensics, What do you think? Was the culprit a highly trained professional surgeon using real medical knowledge to execute and cover up this horrific act? Or were they just incredibly lucky, stumbling through a brutal crime and somehow evading a 150 suspect dragnet by pure chance? It's a terrifying thought either way, honestly. I'd absolutely love to hear what your theories are on this. Thanks for joining me to break down this explainer on one of Hollywood's darkest mysteries. Until next time, keep analyzing and keep questioning.